Hey, what's up, y'all? Remember when American schools were the gold standard? Yeah, neither do I. But apparently, there was a time. We used to have one of the best education systems in the world. Now, we're getting smoked by countries like Finland, South Korea, and Singapore. Why? Because we're too busy obsessing over test scores and drowning kids in homework instead of actually teaching them how to think. Let's talk about how the US went from the education powerhouse to whatever the hell this is. So let's have fun with this one. Apparently, the US used to be one of the global leaders in education, but today, we're not doing so hot, especially in math and science. Now that's like going from valedictorian to the guy who keeps forgetting his locker combination. You need CTE for that kind of damn mental drop-off. Psychology Today posted an article where they said, thinking clearly, deeply, and productively is one of our most valuable life skills. But research shows it's becoming one of the most endangered. Unsurprisingly, there's been a decline in people's ability to think deeply and reflectively in recent years. Now, have you ever heard of the Program for International Student Assessment? PISA for short. I hope I'm saying that right. They run a global study on 15-year-olds' performance in math, science, and reading. Now, obviously, we're extremely intelligent, so let's see where we rank. Okay, hold on. This has to be a glitch. We're 9th in reading? I don't know. I guess that's kind of decent. Hold on. 16th in science? How? We have Dr. Fauci. Aren't we supposed to trust the science? Shit, maybe we should be trusting Singapore or Japan science. That may explain why the US ranks 57th in infant mortality rates. Aight, math now. Man, ain't no way. We're down in 34th place? Damn, no wonder we're $37 trillion in debt. And if you're like me wondering why we suck so bad, well, here's a big one. Schools don't even prioritize actual learning anymore. It's all about cramming for tests. Standardized tests have basically turned schools into assembly lines. Teachers drill students on test material instead of teaching them how to, solve real-world problems. You might pass the test, but you still have no clue how to do your taxes or apply for a mortgage. And honestly, that's more complex than even the bare minimum. People these days can't even critically think. I know you've seen it. Person 1 does something. Person 2 dislikes it. And if you ask person 2 why person 1 did the thing, they literally cannot come up with any reason other than they must be evil. Like no concept of context, motive, or nuance. This is some cartoon villain logic these people have. They have main character syndrome and can't fathom the realization that other people have individual thoughts. And who's paying the price? Teachers. Not only are they forced to turn their classrooms into Scantron factories, but they're also underpaid and overworked. Here's a fun fact. American teachers earn significantly less than their counterparts in other first world countries. And by fun, I mean depressing. Teachers in Finland, for example, make way more and are required to have master's degrees, attracting top-tier educators. In the US, we're basically saying, hey, could you educate the next generation for pennies and also buy your own classroom supplies? Cool, thanks, bro. I think a good way to think about it is this. Would you rather have fewer doctors with 10 plus years of medical training or more doctors with just a bachelor degree? Sure, there'd be more doctors, but half of them would probably misdiagnose you with congenital heart disease when you're just dealing with some diarrhea and stomach pain. You see, in the most important jobs, quality matters. But let's dive a little further into the quality over quantity for a second. In the US, the bare minimum to teach in public schools is usually just a bachelor's degree in education or something related, plus a state-specific certification. That process typically involves passing a general teaching exam, but some states like New Jersey have actually made it easier. In January of 2025, this year, they scrapped the basic skills test requirement altogether, making it simpler to become a teacher. Now, compare that to other developed countries. Over 40% of OECD nations require their primary and lower secondary teachers to have a master's degree. Finland takes it even further. They only accept top-tier candidates into their teacher programs, which boosts the profession's prestige and overall quality. In Japan, you can't just walk into teaching with a degree like you can in the US. You have to pass a highly competitive exam first. And Singapore, nah, they're the wildest. They have new teachers go through a probation period to prove they're actually competent before getting the green light to teach. Man, they got these fools in teacher jail serving time before they're released to the public just to teach. So while the US is lowering the bar, other countries are raising it, making sure their teachers are the best of the best. So just like the doctor comparison I made earlier, I'll ask one again. If your airplane had a mechanical issue, would you rather your flight be delayed 3 hours because you were waiting for the master mechanic on shift? Or would you be fine with the mechanic who only has a bachelor's degree from the University of Toys R Us, but he can fix that shit in 5 minutes? Now don't lie to yourself, because I know y'all get scared when you see that damn duct tape flapping off the wing of your plane 45 minutes into flight. Yeah, I know you closed that window fast. But here's where it gets even dumber. Our entire education model is built around the female brain. Now hold on, feminists, stop screeching, and incels, stop laughing maniacally over there. Everyone relax and come sit around the campfire and hear me out. Alright, listen, I'm sorry to disappoint. This isn't some men versus women rant, it's just biology. Boys' brains retain information better through physical activity and play, while girls typically excel in structured, sit-down learning environments. So what do we do here in the US? Well, we build schools around the female brain, rigid, stationary, and lecture heavy, while boys are practically vibrating in their seats. You ever wonder why so many boys get slapped with an ADHD diagnosis in grade school, but the same kids can focus intensely the second they hit the football field or basketball court? It's like you're trying to teach a puppy how to play fetch by reading it fetch instructions. Okay, good luck with that. So let's actually talk about the difference in male and female brains and how they learn information. Females prefer to learn new things using a unimodal style of teaching. Unimodal means one mode. For instance, auditory or visual. Women generally like to simply hear something or see something. Let's say PowerPoint slides. While men disproportionately not only preferred multimodal learning, but quad modal learning. 4 modes all at once. Hey ladies, now do you see why these little boys are basically crack fiends running around the classroom? The amount of stimulus we require is off the charts. So teaching a little boy would require something like this. PowerPoint slides, with a verbal briefing that's following the slides, while having a physical model at their desks that they can interact with. Oh, and that's only 3 modes of learning. We still have to do a 4th. Let's say giving them time to talk about their thoughts with their peers after each section. Only then will their little Energizer Bunny bloodthirsty appetites for stimulation be satiated. Let me break this down for you. Boys and girls' brains are wired differently when it comes to learning. Studies show that boys have more brain regions dedicated to spatial and mechanical skills. Think building, moving, and problem solving in a physical sense. Meanwhile, girls' brains lean more toward verbal and emotional processing, which makes them naturally better at language-based tasks like reading, writing, and, actually sitting still. Oh, and this isn't going to be a surprise, but girls are biologically built with better impulse control, so they can handle sitting, listening, and focusing for longer periods, which makes them more suited for traditional classroom settings. Oh, and let's not forget about the testosterone factor. Boys naturally have lower levels of oxytocin, the so-called bonding hormone, which makes them more prone to physical aggression and rough and tumble play. Now I know some of y'all heard the word aggression and think wife beating and school shooting. Relax, I'm talking about play wrestling with friends or how boys race around the playground every day to see who the fastest kid in school is. And we all remember thinking the fastest kid in 2nd grade was definitely going to be the most successful in life as an adult and get all the girls. So that's very important to them. But what does this mean in a classroom setting? Well, boys thrive in active hands-on environments. They learn better through physical engagement. Think building models, competitive games, or activities where they can move around. They also benefit from movement breaks throughout the day to stay focused. Girls, on the other hand, tend to excel in structured, cooperative settings. They're often more comfortable with detail-oriented tasks, group discussions, and sitting still for longer periods. But here's the problem. Most schools are set up for the female brain. They prioritize sitting, listening, and repetitive tasks, basically creating a system where boys are more likely to struggle, get bored, and be labeled with attention issues, even if they don't actually have them. The reality? A lot of boys diagnosed with learning disabilities or ADHD are really just kids with a male brain stuck in a female-oriented learning environment. And you homework lovers, come over here for a second. I want to show you something real quick. Because I'm tired of y'all always reminding the teacher to dish out the worksheets instead of just letting us relax and have our free time. People don't realize this, but homework does almost nothing for younger students. Countries like Finland, where kids are crushing it, assign basically zero homework for younger students. Meanwhile, in the US, kids are coming home with enough homework to power a small bonfire. I mean, come on now, 3 to 4 hours of homework a day? Damn, the parents need teaching degrees at this point. Imagine working an 8-hour shift, then being told, hey, could you go home and do another 3 hours, unpaid? Oh, and if you get confused or lost, don't worry. I'm sure your spouse will help you out. I doubt they have anything going on in their own life. That's basically what we do to kids and their parents. And here's the thing. More homework doesn't automatically mean smarter students. In fact, some studies show that just because schools pile on homework doesn't mean kids are actually learning more. It's the amount they complete that sometimes boosts performance, not how much they're assigned, which is obvious, right? But I'm saying that too much homework has diminishing returns because it just burns kids out. You assign too much and they won't do any of it. And you know who figured this out? Finland. Their students crush international rankings when taking into account they barely get 30 minutes of homework a night. Meanwhile, the US is over here sending kids home with 3 hours of busy work like that shit's gonna turn them into the next Einstein. Oh, and other countries are catching on. Places like Norway are even considering scrapping homework altogether because it can actually make educational inequalities worse. Imagine that. Less homework, better results, happier kids. What a concept. Hey, but I don't want to scare anyone. Sure, 12 straight years of grade school might suck the critical thinking straight out of your damn brain like a vacuum. But hey, it can only go up from here, right? Nah, big dog, you haven't even hit the crippling college debt yet. We still got work to do if we want to help the education system line their pockets even more. And here's where the US really shines. America is one of the only first world countries that charges for higher education. Most others offer free or heavily subsidized college. But we're out here saying, hey, you want to learn? That'll be $100K and P. Diddy's gonna take your mama on a date. US student loan debt is now over 1.7 trillion. Yes, that is trillion with a T. And I know we all in the US got that great value education, but just to clarify, a trillion is 1,000 billions. 1,000 billions, y'all. Are we for real? Some of y'all don't even have 1,000 damn dollars. And speaking of college debt, let's take a trip to Finland. Finland gives free public education, including university studies for both citizens and international students. So these fools give out free schooling and little to no homework? Dog, I'm finna book my plane ticket right now. Oh, and they still rank higher than us in math and science. Alright, this is really gonna piss me off. Hold on. And Estonia, Norway, Germany, and Poland all offer free college to their citizens. And get this. Estonia ranks 7th in math, 6th in science, and 6th in reading on the PISA. Seriously, what the hell are we doing, America? I mean, damn, I love this country. Don't get me wrong. But at this point, I feel like Ted Bundy's mom. It's like, boy, you know I love you, but you out here messing around and now them boys in blue are gonna fry your ass to death like a fish fillet. Like, yes, America, we're great, but I expect more from us at this point. And if this all sounds bleak, well, it kind of is. I mean, unless you want to put in the work to educate yourself and your family. But hey, that's why the internet and videos like this are so damn important. You see, America's education system is basically a broken vending machine. You keep pumping money in, but nothing valuable comes out. Until we stop prioritizing test scores, quit overworking teachers, and actually focus on effective learning strategies, we're going to keep sliding further down the rankings. And trust me, we still got a long way we could fall. But with that being said, I just want to thank everybody who made it this far in the video. If you would like, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in for more, and I'll see you guys next time.